I'm out by Dover Center. This machine on the left-hand side is called a mouse. And what it does is it runs along and picks up the sugar beets that have been made into a nice big windrow and loads trucks. So it's kind of hard to see because it's dark and they're loading in the dark, but it's going along fairly slow, fairly gently, and that truck's getting loaded as we speak. And now what they're going to be doing is they're just going to be making sure that everything's lined up right as they continue to load. And so what's going to happen is these trucks are going to take the beets from the field and drop them off at the loading yard in Dover Center. A sample is going to be taken from every field, maybe not every truckload, but definitely every field, so that they can ensure that quality is there. And that stacking yard is going to hold the sugar beets until they're needed at the sugar processing plant over in Michigan. This yard will take sugar beets that are grown in southwestern Ontario, and the sugar plant is located in Michigan, where they make beet sugar. Sugar plant is a cooperative, and so all the sugar that's the owners of the sugar beet plant are also farmers, and they run by a board, and it's run by a board. The stacking yard that's in Dover Center is kind of a leader in how they handle things. There's no real structures. There's some big loaders, and that's really about it. It's just a big open yard with a couple small buildings for machinery, and the sugar beets and that sit outside. And what they've found is, because of the land and the drainage, and because of the beets themselves, they don't have too much in terms of loss. So it's a good way to keep those beets for a fairly low cost and keep the cost of production as low as possible, so that we can all get our sugar fix. One thing I'm struck by as a crop and beef farmer is how fast this happens. They're loading this truck, and it's probably only going to take them 5 minutes. It might take them 10 at the most. That's incredibly time efficient. And then what they'll do is they'll unload that and at the stacking yard and make much, much bigger stacks, from which they'll load into trucks to go over to Michigan. And that's it. 5 minutes on the dot. Impressive. So they'll run a bunch of these trucks over the next or in the next few minutes, hours, so as to get this field off as soon as possible.